I need a break, man. Spook Month really took it out of me, guys. And by Spook Month, I mean the first version of my video on the reflection that I was editing during that time. Technical difficulties combined with me trying to make 4 videos that month really took it out of me, which is why you won't be seeing a video on these until next Halloween. I'm burned out, and I need to take a break from making videos by making more videos. This month, I'm making my own version of the Dance November Nanos that I would like to dub I'm exhausted and I need a break, so I'm going to make smaller videos until December, the month where I can rake in those sweet, sweet YouTube views. Or I guess we could call this Bite-Sized Vember for short. I don't know, you pick, because
I'm not very bright.
So now that we have another YouTuber reference out of the way, I'm sure you're all familiar with the term "you suck," a combination of words that have been cemented in our vocabulary and is commonly used by millions every day. The term has many uses and meanings. We jokingly say it to friends and family, heatedly to strangers on Overwatch, and for better or worse, to ourselves. You suck is the core theme of Live With Yourself, a new ongoing comic for Blue Chair creator Sheen. Sheen is one of those creators I have a love-hate relationship with, because he makes autobiographical slice-of-life webcomics where the humor is lol so random #relatable. And personally, these type of comics annoy me to no end because of the oversaturation of these comics that share the same sense of humor, making them very, very stale very quickly. And I know that sounds rich coming from the girl who has a fucking comics and anime YouTube channel, but Sheen is one of those creators that I find more tolerable because he throws his own sense of humor into the mix. Blue Chair is very much lol so random #relatable, but sometimes Sheen will add his own tragically hysterical, and I use the word hysterical lightly, fuck you, fuck logic, this is my comic and I can do whatever I want sense of humor into the mix. Blue Chair makes fun of things like depression and unproductivity as much as it does little things like spiders and weather, making it one of those comics where it hurts to give the smallest of chuckles because I can relate to his depression and unproductivity on a personal level. And even though I stay away from the comic, I still keep it in my Webtoons library because, and I'm going to get crucified for saying this, but I hope that Sheen will end Blue Chair soon. And I'm not saying that because I'm a hater who dislikes this comic because it's popular and is in a subgenre of webcomics that aren't my cup of tea. No, far from it. I'm saying that because I want Sheen to end Blue Chair because he has potential and personality. Potential and personality that I believe is trapped in the style of webcomics that's like zombie stories, easy to make and done to death. I just realized that was a pun. Alright. Okay, me. And thankfully, Live With Yourself is the much needed first step for Sheen to unlock that potential. The comic follows a young man named Todd who works at a computer repair store, fixing no, not computers, cell phones. One day he gets a job at a laboratory because apparently the IT guy was out. A Futurama reference and a day of being stuck in traffic goes by and he makes it to the lab where he not only fixes the computer but also installs a virus because his boss is scummy and loves nothing more than making money by having the same client call back to do the job once more. But karma catches up on Todd when he activates the last time machine, but it not only takes him forward or backwards in time, no, it brings the past, future, and far future to himself. Todd finds himself facing 3 versions of himself, which he dubs Babs the baby version, Odie the old version, and Tomo, the one from the recent future. Not knowing what to do or how to fix this, Todd must do what the title suggests and live with himself. Todd is a likable enough character, a broke naive millennial who's trying to get by while doing those things most 20-year-olds care about. Tomo is fed up with the shit of his younger self and I guess the world because of how pessimistic he is compared to Todd's optimism, but he probably doesn't need to worry for long because Odie seems like a nice and down-to-earth person until he isn't, and Babs is a baby, and just like babies in the real world, he's completely useless until we find out he's a stand user. Todd has to learn from his future while also trying to take care of his past, and there are times where versions of himself come together to better himself and his future, because he's suck, and he's a loser, and he has to make himself a little bit less than that in order to better his life. I believe Live With Yourself is a major step for Sheen. It's a divergence from the #relatable humor Blue Chair is trapped in, but still maintains Sheen's random I don't give a fuck sense of humor in order to spice up the comic. The story is refreshing for Sheen with his linear plotline. The characters are likable enough, and the comic maintains Sheen's simple yet neat art style. One of my major complaints about the comic is that I don't believe that the comic is living up to its full potential. Like, why not have Tomo change with some of the major decisions and changes Todd makes? He is the version of Todd from the recent future. It would make sense for him to become more happy or angry with Todd's life. After all, they can fuck with the baby in order to change shit, like make Todd rich or emo, then why can't this happen? And if 4 different versions of Todd exist in the same timeline, then why are things not fucked to all hell? What about Todd's family or friends from those timelines? I get that it's a comic from the creator of Blue Chair, you can't question everything, but plot holes still need to be filled and there are some things that still need to be explained. But in order for me to go into full detail about my true feelings on this comic, I'm going to have to do something that I hate doing and compare Live With Yourself with another comic. This one being Luke McKay's is Balls to Dat, a webcomic that follows a young man named Balls who lives in a mental hospital and his nurse who he grows close with named Mustard, who may be just as insane, if not less. I can't help but think about Balls to Dat while reading Live With Yourself, not because they both have likable characters, a simple, neat, and in Balls' case, charming art style, or linear stories, but because Balls has something that Live With Yourself greatly lacked, that being a personality. That's a problem that comes from making comics like Blue Chair. You blend in, and it's hard for you to break out, because even though these comics are about yourself and or reflect who you are as a person, just because you're you and you have a personality doesn't mean that your comic is automatically going to have one as well. I read tons of webcomics on a daily basis, and many of them, good, bad, and average, have an identity. Live With Yourself is growing its own identity, but it's still clasped in the hands of Blue Chair, and although that really sucks, it doesn't hold the comic back from being a step in the right direction for Sheen's future as a comic creator. Now, I know that I might have sounded rather aggressive towards the Western slice of life webcomic world in Blue Chair, and I know I feature quite a few comics in this video that I dislike, but dislike is far from hate, and I bear no ill will towards the creators nor their readers. The comics they make are simply not my cup of tea, and it's not like I hate every autobiographical slice of life webcomic. No, I quite enjoy a few, but these few I enjoy because they stand out from the rest of their genre, and because they have their own style or genuine charm. I wish that Blue Chair would end because I want Sheen, like other creators that make the type of comic in this genre, to grow as creators and work on original and challenging works where they'll improve themselves. These types of comics are a good start, but there has to be a point where you have to move on in order to make bigger and better things. But I very much understand why these comics don't end, because people enjoy them and the creators enjoy making them, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's not my place to force anyone to stop doing what they enjoy. These are just the best interests of one person on the internet, and on the internet, opinions don't matter. So yeah, I quite enjoy Live With Yourself. Its lack of personality is extremely glaring, but it's a refreshing read from its creator that tickles my funny bone. I hope that Sheen will see this project to the end, because I read every new chapter as soon as it goes up. Also, the way he titles and thumbnails each chapter is awesome. If you want to read Live With Yourself, then as always, I'll link the comic down below along with Sheen's Twitter. And while you're down there, you can find my other links as well, like my personal Twitter at CallMeRENS, where you can come and talk to me. I'm a pretty okay person, I guess. And if you enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing and checking out some of my other content just like this. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.